Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I am Screen Scene Guru and I'll be diving on into Peacemaker Season 1. This is my series recap with Season 2 premiering. Really exciting news we're hearing from James Gunn that we may get a Blue Beetle cameo. Who knows? So going on into the first 4 episodes, I've reviewed half of the series, so that's really cool. This is my first rewatch of the series since it came out in 2021. I've got a Peacemaker shirt on, you guys can kind of see. Check that out. So I do have some swag, so that's pretty cool. Going into episode 1, we've got a whole new world. After making a miraculous recovery, Peacemaker returns home only to discover his freedom comes at a price. So this is where we meet Economos and, of course, Harcourt, who were both in the Suicide Squad, assisting Amanda Waller. We also get introduced to, I believe his name is, Myrn, and Adebayo, who is Amanda Waller's daughter. Really introduction to a whole lot of new characters in this mini-series that are going to be quite pivotal characters for Team Peacemaker. So going on to episode 2, we got Best Friends Forever. This is the introduction of the Vigilante, another Batman villain, so that's really cool. We get to see that expanded universe. After Peacemaker's hazardous escape, tensions and mistrust build within the team. Later, as Peacemaker grapples with his own new assignment, he receives a surprise visitor. So yeah, very interesting. This is following up the events of the first episode where he hooks up with an alien. He later has to escape her apartment with the assistance of Harcourt and Adebayo. So that was really fun to see the comedy and the different takes on music interests, and the whole soundtrack of the show was really interesting. So I highly recommend for those of you that have the hbomax account, you can watch it on there, or you can pick up the physical media copy. I've got this one with the reverse slipcover, so you can see Chris Smith hanging out with his car and his helmet and his gun. Flip side, it gives you the episode titles. I have yet to go into the special features, the bonus features for this, so you guys can follow me on Instagram and on Threads for that. I'll be posting them probably not too long after this video. But going on to episode 3, we've got Better Goff Dead, which is where he finally gets his assignment. On their first official mission to assassinate suspected butterflies, Economos and Myrn bond as Peacemaker and Harcourt reach for an understanding, but the whole job goes sideways as the arrival of Judo Master. So very interesting stuff here, guys. Action-packed episode. We do get to see the lair underneath the mansion of these senators. We see some conflicting emotions from Chris, that he has a vow he will kill every last man, woman, and child it takes to get peace, but he does truly not want to hurt women and children, so that's good. He's not like his dad. So going on to episode 4, we've got The Chode Less Traveled. All of these episodes are hilarious. Following a somewhat successful mission, Myrn recruits Vigilante. Meanwhile, after learning that the team helped land his father in prison, Peacemaker confronts his complicated past. So this is probably one of my favorite episodes, guys. It really gives a origin story for Chris and why he is the way he is. He was taught from a young age to be Peacemaker by his dad, and he used to have a brother, which we're now going to be getting to see in this season 2 premiere. They're supposedly calling him Captain Triumph, which is very interesting. They're also giving the dad more screen time by saying he's actually a good character. He's part of the trio, which they're calling them in this new dimension. The trio is the blue dragon instead of the red dragon. The Captain Triumph and Peacemaker. So very interesting stuff there, and they've got news clippings of them saving the city from a rainbow monster and from the Humanite from Gotham. So that's very interesting. I got that posted in my Instagram and on my Threads account. You guys can check that out. I've also got some movie scoops as well as the Avatar release date schedule, which seems to be very interesting. Knightrider is happening from the people that are developing the Cobra Kai series from Netflix. Seems like they're trusting them to do a Knightrider movie, which is really cool. Some more movie notes real quick. Jason Momoa is set to produce and star in a pirate movie, so that's really interesting, from Apple TV. Not exactly sure what it's going to be called, but he's killing it right now with Chief of War, an indigenous story about Hawaiian Islanders. Universal is supposed to be working on an Archie film based on the Archie comics and, of course, Riverdale. And they do want to have it with an adult set and tone, which is interesting, which Riverdale just ended a few years ago. It's all on Netflix. And now Universal wants to mine that IP, mine that comic book into a movie, of course. We got... Let me cross these two stories out real quick. Now moving on, we've got Disney is setting up a group to try to bring back Gen Z audience to Marvel Studios, which is very interesting news. We also heard that the star of the True Detective Season 5 has been announced as Nicolas Cage. Really exciting news here, guys, because we've been hearing for weeks now that it's going to be a predominant actor as the lead, and now Nick Cage has been confirmed for True Detective Season 5. You're hearing it here. Going on to our next story, we've got Spielberg's new UFO film is supposedly done, starring Wyatt Russell, and we've got Emily Blunt in it. Apparently it's been tested at the screeners, and they are adoring it. They're loving it, and they can't wait for its 2026 release date. We're also hearing good things about Black Rabbit, Netflix TV series with Jude Law and Jason Bateman. Some of the early screeners have been out for people to review and watch, and it's already being talked about the best drama crime series for Netflix. So that's really cool to hear. So done with those stories. Zack Snyder is set to release a new film starring a few of the people he's worked with before in the Rebel Moon films. This story is following a group of children that are taken by mercenaries, and then a reporter sent in to liberate them from a warlord. So that sounds very interesting, that Zack Snyder's coming back to do an Extraction level film. So that's very cool. Fallout Season 2 has been confirmed. It's got its first official poster for New Vegas is out, which looks really cool compared to the first season poster. Frankenstein, the Guillermo del Toro film, is going to get a theatrical release. They're discussing it may have 13 days or might have longer than that. I know a big time Academy Award winner, Guillermo del Toro, would want a lot more than just the 13-day theatrical release. Similar to the situation happening with Greta Gerwig's Narnia, shooting in the UK. She is also fighting the studio, Netflix, to have a theatrical release, when their thoughts are if the film is put on the Netflix home screen, they'll get more views there than actually releasing it theatrical. A lot of people have gone into the budgets of all this and the financial costs and means of releasing a film digitally on streaming compared to theatrically. If they release it theatrically, they have a chance to earn their money back, where streaming they make no profit off it. Even though people are paying them the weekly, the monthly subscription costs to have the streaming service, they're not actually making a profit off that film. They still need to make money. So a lot of people are very confused about that aspect of it. But going on to our next story, we've got, let's see. Oh, the fact that Guillermo del Toro has confirmed that he's got a deal with Netflix to where Frankenstein will be released on physical media, similar to how Stranger Things was with the Duffer Brothers. The first 3 seasons, I believe, you could buy it on physical media, and then when season 4 came out, they realized real quick that you need to make that a streaming exclusive deal. You could not get physical media of Stranger Things after season 3, which was very smart of them. They wanted you to subscribe to Netflix, and that's what these other streaming services are now doing. So going on, we've seen that rumors and reports of Kang the Conqueror, Jonathan Majors, returning to Marvel Studios, as circulated the last few weeks, with him, supposedly he has paid all his fines, he hasn't done any jail time, he's kind of stayed recluse from the news networks, he's gotten married, so congratulations there. But interesting that, the idea was that they'd be bringing in Robert Downey Jr. as Doom to replace the Kang storyline, to replace the Kang the Conqueror, basically elements of that. But apparently Marvel is wanting to hang on to that character and maybe explain or write him out in a sequence in Doomsday. We're hearing a lot of drama from Avengers Doomsday set in the UK. Of course, the Nightcrawler actor has discussed there were problems on set while filming. He's discussed he didn't know who he was shooting scenes with, and he got in an argument with Robert Downey Jr., and Robert Downey Jr. was called to reshoot scenes without him. So that was very interesting news to hear. We've also got, let's see, Lord of War 2 has been confirmed from, I believe Sony has the rights to Lord of War, which is also a Nicolas Cage film. We're hearing that Bill Skarsgård is going to join the cast, so that's really exciting news. I like him. We adore him over here. So yeah, a lot of really interesting stuff is happening with that. The Harry Potter TV series is filming in the UK right now. They've just cast the Weasleys, so that's really awesome news. They've got the mom and the kids all being filmed on the train station going to Hogwarts, so basically the opening sequence of the movie they're filming for the TV series. So that's really cool. Good news to hear. The Waller TV series, James Gunn gave an update on Waller, and it is moving forward. They're shooting it in sequences around Peacemaker Season 2 and other projects, because they're not sure exactly when they want to drop it in the timeline. I did make a post on Instagram and on Threads about the future upcoming DCU universe. So be sure to check that out, guys, if you aren't following already. A big incentive to follow the channel. But that should do it for this video, guys. What do you guys think of Peacemaker Season 1? I do have 4 more episodes to go into, so be sure to stay tuned for that coverage. And until next time, guys, I want to say thanks for clicking on one of my videos, and be sure to tell your friends and everyone you like all about the channel. Bye-bye.